Welcome to The Explainer. Look, if you're absolutely exhausted from endless food bans and find yourself literally dreading every single meal, you are exactly where you need to be. Today, we're going to decode the fascinating and honestly highly misunderstood gut-brain connection. This is part 2 of our series on the condition. Part 1 covered the basics, and part 3 is going to tackle medications. But today, we're mapping out exactly how to reclaim your life from irritable bowel syndrome using a really powerful dual-engine approach. Because as you'll see, managing IBS isn't just about starving yourself. It absolutely requires treating both the gut and the mind.
All right, let's just jump right in with a seriously mind-bending question about the illusion of pain. Can food you didn't even eat actually cause you real physical agony? The answer to this is going to completely change how you view your digestion.
Check this out. A recent study out of McMaster University in Canada looked at 28 IBS patients who were absolutely convinced that gluten was their trigger. The researchers gave them one of 3 disguised cereal bars. Now here's the kicker. One of those bars was a complete fake, a sham bar, absolutely zero gluten or wheat in it. And yet, 8 of those patients experienced a massive 50-point spike in real physical pain after eating it. Why? Simply because their brain expected to be hurt by gluten. It's called the nocebo effect, and it basically proved that just the expectation of pain can physically alter your gut motility. To solve this whole gut-brain puzzle, here's our roadmap for today. First, we'll unpack the mind and illusionary pain puzzle. Then we'll dive into the 3 stages of the FODMAP diet, followed by a look at your food, friends, and foes. After that, we'll expose the daily habits ruining your colon, look at programming the mind to treat the gut, and finally, how to navigate social coexistence without the shame. Okay, part 1, the mind and illusionary pain puzzle. Let's unmask this false fire alarm. Here's the crazy part. If you have IBS, your colon's hardware, like the physical structure, is actually completely fine. There's no visible damage there. But the software, that communication network between your gut and your brain, is incredibly hyperactive. We call this visceral hypersensitivity. It means your brain is taking totally normal digestion, like a little bit of natural gas moving through your intestines, and translating it into an agonizing level 10 warning signal. It's literally like a fire alarm going off and drenching your whole house just because someone burned a piece of toast in the kitchen. Moving on to Engine 1, Part 2, the FODMAP's diet and its 3 stages. Time to master your gut biochemistry. Now listen, because there's a huge misconception here that we need to clear up. The FODMAP diet is absolutely not some permanent miserable prison where you starve yourself. Not at all. It's actually a temporary, 3-step detective mission. First up is elimination. For 2 to 6 weeks, you remove all high FODMAP foods just to quiet down that hyperactive fire alarm. Stage 2 is reintroduction. This is where you systematically test foods one by one to find your specific culprits. And lastly, personalization. You go back to eating normally, avoiding only your unique triggers. You're basically playing scientist with your own body. Which brings us to part 3, food list, friends and foes. Let's navigate those triggers and see what this actually looks like on your plate. So, what are FODMAPs anyway? Basically, they're fermentable carbs. Short-chain carbohydrates, like oligosaccharides and polyols, that your small intestine just kind of fails to absorb properly. And because they aren't absorbed, they travel right down into your colon, where billions of bacteria are just waiting. These bacteria treat those carbs like an absolute all-you-can-eat buffet. They ferment them, and boom, it's a massive fermentation party, creating tons of painful gas and bloating.
But hey, the good news? This is super actionable. By making some simple daily swaps, like trading out irritants like wheat, regular milk, and apples for friendly, safe alternatives like oats, lactose-free milk, and bananas, you instantly starve those gas-producing bacteria. You can still eat really well. You just have to choose the fuel that your body can process without setting off that alarm.
Next up, part 4, daily habits ruining your colon. We've got to talk about these hidden lifestyle triggers. Because it's not just what you eat, right? It's how you live. Swallowing your food fast without really chewing, or, slamming a huge cup of coffee on an absolutely empty stomach, that's like throwing gasoline right on that gut fire. Same goes for chugging artificial sweeteners and those hidden polyols. Plus, terrible sleep and just sitting around all day literally stalls your digestion. Honestly, adding in some light movement or even just a few minutes of yoga and massage can calm your colon down almost instantly. Oh, and a quick word on probiotics. Don't fall for the marketing gimmicks. You want to look for specific, clinically proven strains, like Bifidobacterium infantis 35624. That's the real deal for reducing pain. All right, switching gears to Engine 2, Part 5, Programming the Mind to Treat the Gut. let's look at psychological rewiring. Okay, get ready for this because it's truly incredible. Did you know that 95% of your body's serotonin, yeah, the chemical that regulates your mood and your pain, is actually produced in your gut, not your brain? Crazy, right? They are physically hardwired together by the vagus nerve. That means psychological therapies aren't just all in your head. They literally physically alter your gut motility and how you feel pain by calming down that vagus nerve connection. I know, it sounds a bit like science fiction, but things like cognitive behavioral therapy, targeted meditation, and gut-directed hypnotherapy are incredibly effective. We're talking up to an 80% success rate in clinical trials. By using deep relaxation and guided imagery, a therapist can literally help you dismantle that stress symptom feedback loop. They help you turn down the volume dial on that visceral hypersensitivity, totally reversing that painful expectation loop we talked about earlier. Finally, part 6, social coexistence without shame. Let's combine both of these engines so you can live confidently. You absolutely do not have to live your life in isolation or constant fear of a flare-up. It's all about empowerment. Keep a symptom diary so you know exactly what your unique triggers are. If you're traveling, pack a simple go bag with wipes, a change of clothes, and some loperamide. And definitely use bathroom locator apps like Flush or Sit or Squat. It takes the panic right out of the equation. Eat your known safe foods before big events, and just talk openly with your friends. Remember, the anxiety of worrying about a flare-up actually tells your gut-brain axis to create one. Preparation kills that anxiety. So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a pretty provocative thought to ponder. And hey, jump into the comments and tell me, what is that one specific food that always seems to anger your colon? But think about this. If the microscopic bacterial colonies in your stomach can literally manipulate your vagus nerve, dictate your mood, and cause you real physical pain based on nothing but a thought, who's actually in a driver's seat? Are you driving your biological suit, or are your gut bacteria secretly pulling the strings? Think about that next time you grab a lunch. Thanks for hanging out with me, and take care of that gut-brain connection.